Hi y'all, Easy Slider here. Welcome to the go-to channel for all your long-distance relationship needs. Now, meeting your long-distance relationship partner at the airport. That's something we need to talk about, all right? What do you think would be on your mind if you knew you were fixing to go halfway around the world to meet a virtual stranger? What if you've been talking to a girl online for a while and one morning you woke up and everything clicked and you decided it's time to do a face-to-face? Yeah, it's gonna happen. Maybe you've traveled internationally before, maybe you haven't. Maybe you've been to a foreign country before, maybe you haven't. Have you ever met a woman that might not totally speak your language? I think you're in for a treat. Have you given thought to which airline you would want to fly on? Well, you might have several choices. You got to choose from something here, so let me tell you what I know that might could help you out. Naturally, you're going to probably leave on an airline from the United States. Now, that's not always true. I have left the United States on a foreign airline, so it just depends. But somewhere along the line, you're probably going to change to a foreign airline company. Now, the one that I liked the least was Korean Air. And the reason being is the airport in Seoul, Korea, they call it something else, but the people there always seemed to be confused. They were not knowing what to do, and going through the customs inspection there was slow, and they were super picky. I'm talking about super picky. It just didn't leave me with a really good feeling. Now, on the other hand, the one that I liked the most was the Japanese Airlines. While the food was a little weird, to say the least, and they didn't speak much English, but they were impressive. All right? The service was outstanding, and they treated you so well. And even though their English wasn't there, they still managed to communicate with you in one way or the other. So I really like the Japanese airline. It's a lot to think about. Now, what's it going to be like to do something like that? What does your family think? If they think you've lost your mind? If they do, join the crowd, all right? They say, stay home and be happy with the Karen down the street. You know the one I'm talking about. She's always mad about everything, and she'll suck the life right out of you if you give her a chance. Hey, good choice. Well, against all odds, you might decide to do the craziest thing you've ever done in your life. Yeah, you're going. Good for you. Now, good and well that you're going to need to plan this thing out before you start off, right? You know that. And there's a problem. How do you make plans to do something like this? Well, I suggest you start off talking with your LDR partner. While you might think, oh, I'd love to go over there and surprise her and everything, and it sounds like a fun idea, might be a bad idea, so don't do that. It's going to be better if she's helping you, and that way you won't have a total meltdown. You're going to need to send her some money to book a hotel for you for when you arrive. See, you already need her. The airlines are going to ask you where you're going to be staying, and you're going to have to provide them that information. And so you want to make sure that she books the hotel and sends you all the information where you can pass that on to the airlines. It's required. And if you lose baggage and stuff, they have a way of finding you to bring you your baggage. Now, because of jet lag and the length of time it takes to make the trip, 1 week's not enough. No. Stay as long as you can, 2 weeks or 3 weeks, or even the full amount of time on your visa, which is about 28 days. All right. Let's start with a few facts, such as how long does it take to fly there? Now, I've picked 3 cities that you can depart. I'm just using as examples that you depart from here in the United States, and you'll be, let's say, going into Manila. Depending on where you're going, you might be going into Manila, you might be going into Cebu, you might be going somewhere else. But Manila is the main airport, so I use that one as an example. Now, the first city I'm going to talk about is Mobile, Alabama. All right, from Mobile, the flight time ranges from about 29 hours to 40 hours. Yeah, that's right. It depends on which ticket you buy, which one might be available. Sometimes you don't always have choices, but if the further you book out, then you have more choices. But depending, you might book a ticket that costs $1,800, where if you wanted to get there in 29 hours, it's $3,000. You know, so you kind of book within your range, and that goes for all the cities too. The next city that I'll talk about is New York. Now, from New York to Manila takes about 23 to 25 hours flight time. And the third city, as I use an example, would just be San Francisco, and it's about 18 to 28 hours. And I've kind of flown in that area before, and it usually takes more than 18, or it did for me anyway. Now, keep in mind, that's not the total time. That's just the flight time. You also have to add in your layover time. You can easily add on an extra 12 to 20 more hours on top of the flight time if you're flying from the East Coast. You add that layover time in there, and boy, it makes a big difference. Now, I can only speak from Mobile, and it takes 3 planes to get there. Yeah, you're going to change planes 3 times. So you can see the layover time can really start adding up. The trip gets long, really long. And sometimes you think you're going to sleep, and you're not a lot. Everything just kind of keeps you awake for some reason. All right, you know, planning everything is going to help a lot, but just beware. It's a long trip, and you can sure expect jet lag, and it's going to stay with you a few days, I can guarantee you. Also remember, when it's daytime in the States, it's nighttime there. That's going to only add to the time you're going to need to recover and adjust. Absolutely, you want someone to meet you at the airport. Don't mess up and not get someone to meet you there. I've been in a lot of big airports, but Manila, that's a beast all of its own. I'm telling you, it's something else. At midnight, there won't be as many people there. The crowd will be smaller, but other times, just be prepared to experience a crowd of people like you've never seen at an airport. I suggest that when you get off the plane at an airport, there's a lot of exchange booths around. Exchange a little bit of money, $40 to $60. Go ahead and exchange it, because you're going to need money for tips. You're going to need money to buy a few little things before you actually have time to exchange much money. And a lot of times you can get a better exchange rate when you get away from the airport. So get enough that you can handle everything for right that moment, but don't go in there exchanging a lot, all right? You know, the next day you can go to a money exchange place and exchange your money there and get a little bit better deal. You know what would be a good idea? Well, we know that the planning part is critical, but the good idea is what you need to do is talk with your partner and talk about a place to meet at the airport, all right? As you exit the secure area, you'll probably be met with a sea of people. And it's hard to find each other. I'm not going to joke with you. Some people make big signs and, you know, all kind of stuff. So it can be a real challenge. Now, realize that you will not have a working phone. Your phone from here will not work over there. So you're not going to be able to just grab your phone and punch it up and call her and say, hey, where are you? Now, in an emergency, you might be able to get a security guard to let you use his phone to call her. Don't count on it, but maybe. But if you do, be sure and pay him for it. All right. So it pretty much goes without saying to get her phone number before you leave and keep it handy, just in case. Might help. Now, listen, if any of our information that we're going through helps you, like and subscribe. Our channel is growing and we're being able to reach out and touch more lives and help more people. And and I get little side messages thanking me for some of the information we've done. And one of them even said, boy, if you hadn't have told me this, I'd have just been totally lost when I got to that point. So I realized that we're getting out and it's helping people, and I need you to help me. So just like and subscribe and punch that button. Do it for me. All right. Just tell her, as soon as you come from the secure area, you'll just stand there and wait on her to find you. Tell her your flight number. Tell her your arrival time where she can be there watching for you. You don't realize the massive amount of traffic in Manila. It's unbelievable. And even late at night, the traffic can be kind of rough. So she has to know when you're going to be there and leave in plenty of time to make it. It's crazy because here in America, where it may take you, say, 30 minutes to go somewhere, that same 30 minutes over there might be 3 hours. I've made a lot of trips that I could make in an hour that it'd take me 3 and 4 hours to make. So now, tell her that sometimes you have problems with your luggage. So tell her, don't leave. Just stay tight, and you get to her as fast as you can. You might get stuck in the baggage claim area, like I did one time, for about an hour. But hopefully the crowds will thin out and she'll be able to find you all right. But just tell her, don't leave me here. During your planning stage, be sure to send her some money for the taxi to get to the airport. It can be a little more than she's used to paying, and you don't want to put her in a bind and then her not show up. I suggest when you arrive at the airport and you meet her, call an Uber. Like I said, traffic's unbelievable. Excuse me. So an Uber may really save you money, all right? Let her know that you want to do that you're going to be wanting to catch an Uber from the airport. Or she can put the Uber app on her phone. Now, I can't express the feelings that you're going to have when you first see her. But don't be surprised if she has other people with her, maybe signs or balloons or whatever. It's a pretty common thing that they like to bring other people with us. I know the first time I got to the Philippines, there was like 12 people waiting on us. The last time it wasn't so bad, it was maybe 8. They all like to come and greet you. So, a bunch of people might be there to meet you at the airport. And just trust me though, this time your emotions are going to be really running high, and it's going to be mixed with exhaustion. And I am not joking you. You are going to be so tired. All you want to do is lie down and rest. But probably you won't get something. You'll probably want to get something to eat, because on the plane, you might not have eaten a lot because some of the food is weird. Yeah, it can get really weird. All right, if others are with her, and you're going out to eat at midnight, because a lot of times the flights come in at midnight, you might end up buying everybody a meal, so don't let it surprise you. Just be prepared. All right, when you finally reach the hotel, you're going to be so tired. You're going to be excited, and you're finally with your girl that you've been talking to for so long, and it's just a really exciting time. But don't think you're going to get much sleep, because you probably won't. I can't tell you enough how much fun's in store for you. It's a totally different way of life, and there's so many exciting things to see and to do. Just keep an open mind and experience whatever's thrown at you. Just fall into it and just enjoy it. You're going to have a blast. Take a lot of pictures, and this is important, especially of you and her together, and make sure some of your pictures show you standing by a sign that tells people where you are, like maybe a sign in the Manila airport, or maybe a sign downtown that has something to show that you're in the Philippines. And the reason why is if you plan to marry her, you're going to be required to send pictures of you meeting her, showing where you and her meet. Keep receipts from your hotels, because you also have to show receipts of hotel. Pictures and receipts of hotel. They want to make sure you have met this person, and that's how you do it. All right. Be sure to check out my videos on requirements where you'll know what you have to do. This can easily be one of the most exciting times of your life, so just relax and enjoy it. I'm going to stick another video on there of an interview I had with a lady that's here in the States, and she talks about some of the things I've just talked about, and you can hear it from her perspective, all right? Now, let's just slide on over to our next video and see what's happening in the world of long-distance relationships. Come on, go with me.